Good morning, everybody. Welcome. It is Wednesday. Wake Up Wednesday with Shelly Joe. Feed your brain, change your life. And I am so excited to be here. Today is the end of summer, officially. First day kids go back to school. I have one daughter whose birthday is June 2nd. She starts the summer. I have another daughter whose birthday is tomorrow, August 24th. She ends summer for us. That's how it's always been. Begin summer, end summer. And this has been such an amazing summer. Can I tell you some fun things that have happened? If you haven't been listening to me, or if you have, this is just going to be a recap. Hang in there, because there's a point to why I'm going to tell you this. First of all, I turned 60. Second of all, I had my 38th wedding anniversary. Published my book, second book, From Crazy to Calm, Natural Ways to Boost Your Mental Health. Became a bestseller the second day it came out. Whoa! Just got word that my thesis, Words Determine One's Ability to Manifest, Attract, and Create Health, was accepted. That means I received my master's in metaphysical science. And I am currently doing the audio for my book, Feed Your Brain, Change Your Life. Oh, wow, crazy. It's also been one of the funnest summers. Well, I can't say that because I love summer, but it's been such a fun summer. We got a pool, which has been super fun. I have to admit, I was not the one that put it up. My husband and my wonderful children put it up while I watched grandkids. And I went to Las Vegas for my niece's bachelorette party. And I rode a bull. I got in an ice bath. Went back to Las Vegas the week after for a hypnosis conference. I've spoken at several different events and podcasts. And then my family came in on August 11th, 10th. My brother lives in Spokane, so there's four of us. There's myself, I'm the oldest. I have a brother that lives here locally. I have a sister that lives here locally, and I have my other brother and his family that live in Spokane. And when they come into town, oh my gosh, it's so much fun. It becomes just family. We had a dress rehearsal and a dinner the night before the wedding. My niece had this beautiful wedding. It was so much fun. We danced, we laughed. It was outside. It was so much fun. And then a day later, we all went camping, except for those who were going on, except for my niece and her new husband, who went on a honeymoon. And we spent a whole week camping. There is a reservoir that is about 30 minutes away from here. I know, you're thinking, you went camping for a week, 30 minutes away from home? Yes. And it's actually one of my most favorite places to go camping because it's close. It's beautiful. It's a water lake. It's not a lake, but it's a dam. And once you get into this campground, it could be 30 minutes away. It could be 100 miles away. It doesn't matter. You just feel like you're away from the normalcy. And what do? We sit on the beach all day and wave run and jet ski, ride my bike around the campground with my cute granddaughter behind me. It is just so fun. And it allows my daughters and their families to be able to come and go. It is so much fun. Got back on Sunday. I started watching my granddaughter again. She is now 18 months old. Her mom's a teacher and her dad's a teacher. And that little girl has energy. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Now there's a reason I'm telling you all this, not to go, oh my gosh, look at all these great things. But I do have people say, how do you do all this? And I think to myself, I don't know, I just do. And then I thought, well, maybe because ADD, ADHD is actually my superpower. Now, you might be saying, what? How can ADD and ADHD be your superpower? Doesn't it make it hard to focus sometimes? Yes. Is it really easy for you to run off and, have you ever heard of SOS, which is shiny object syndrome, seeing squirrels, right? Absolutely. Absolutely. But what it also does is allows me to work in really short amount of times. I'm very good at compartmentalizing. I'm also telling you this because people who don't have ADD or ADHD sometimes see people who do as disorganized, out of control, not able to get things done, because we think a little bit differently. It was the middle of July, I think, and my husband and I are very different. He's very analytical, and we were talking, and he said to me, you don't get anything ever done. You don't ever get anything done. And I laughed because I thought, I just published a book. I just finished, I can't read that, but it has the information on my thesis. I just finished my thesis. And you're telling me I don't get anything done? Maybe it's because the way I think doesn't look the same as you think. In my chaos and in my craziness, I can handle it. The only time I can't handle it is when somebody on the outside looks in and tells me I can't handle it. That does cause me stress. What does it look like to have ADD or ADHD? The funny thing is I didn't know I had it until a few years ago. I went to the doctor with my daughter, and he was going over these symptoms or these symptoms that make up ADD. And I was listening and I thought, wait a minute, that sounds like me. I think I have ADD, which is attention deficit disorder or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. And I come home, I call my sister, I was like, sis, I think I have ADD. And she says, you think? And I was like, what? You think you've known this for a long time? I mean, what do you tell me? And I look back over my life and I think, how long have I had this? Well, in school, the one thing that was good is I loved school, I love people, I love activities. But I also was always involved in a million different things. And whether I was having a hard time focusing in school or not, I'm not really sure, except for the fact that I talked a lot. And then my teachers because I talked, would move me to the front of the room next to them. And then I talked to them. Luckily, they liked me. And I was actually a really good student. In high school, or I shouldn't say just high school, mostly in high school, but junior high, high school, the way I got my assignments done for school is it was hard for me to focus when I came home from school because I usually had other projects. And I needed some time when I could just think clearly, which ended up being late at night. So that's when I would do my homework. That's when I would study. Because when the house was quiet, I could think and I could focus. I did really good in school. And so the reason I'm starting with this is because today is the first day back to school for our kids. And there are lots of kids who have ADD or ADHD. And a lot of times parents and teachers see it as this problem, or how do I get my kid to focus? So I thought I'd tell you what it's like, so that you can have a little bit of insight. And then I'm going to give you some tips on how you can help maneuver them, what things might help. For people who have ADD, ADHD, there's a thing called the spin, freeze, run. What that means is when you get a lot of information coming at you, or a lot of things coming at you, it feels like the world is spinning. Like, wow, there's a lot going on here. That it causes you to literally freeze. Now, for me, when I get overwhelmed or I get a lot going on and I freeze, sometimes it's even hard for me to just type on the computer. And then what I want to do is run. And run could literally mean run. Or maybe it's, I'm going to make a random phone call. I'm going to go to a random lunch. I'm going to do some project that is out of it's like, where did it come from? Rather than do the project that needs to be done. And if you watch your child who has this, you might see this same thing going on. I get it. People who don't think this way want to help those who do. People who are organized want to teach somebody who isn't, like a to-do list. Do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. And, I have a kind of to-do list. A lot of times I write stuff down and then I lose it. I'm getting better to put it in my phone. So I always have my phone. So I always have the list. Sometimes just sitting down to write a list can be more stressful than just doing something. Because the key to somebody who has ADD or ADHD, is that I can focus in small amounts of time until I can't. How do you write a book? It's small increments of time. I may not be able to sit down and write for hours, but I can write for this little bit amount of time here. I can write for this little amount of time here. How do you write a thesis? Same way. This little amount of time here, this little amount of time here. How do I record my Audible book? First of all, I have a walk-in closet. It's not very big, but it's big enough. so that the sound doesn't bounce around. And I read my book one chapter at a time. Sometimes I can get 2 chapters in at a time. And now I have 5 chapters left and the book will be done. It's working in small increments. So how can you help your child? Well, one of the big things is think about the fact that they can focus in little increments of time. So when they come home from school and they've been sitting all day, if they're in elementary school, they might have got a couple little breaks. And you bring them home and you think, we're going to get that homework done right now so that we can be done. And in the logical world, that sounds like a great thing, right? Let's get home. Let's get the things done that we need to do. And then we can be done. And then you can go play. And then you can watch TV or you can do whatever. That might not be the best time to do homework. Let them play. Get them outside. Get them some vitamin D. Let them be in the sunshine. The last week, well, this summer has been incredible. We've had lots and lots of sunshine. Sometimes it's been really, really hot, at least here where I live in Utah. But since Saturday, it has rained a lot, which tells me that fall is coming and the sun time is very slowly going down. So when they get home from school, let them have some time to run, to play, to decompress, to breathe. Give them a snack. Give them a snack give them some protein, maybe with some fruit. If they want some sugar, then pack it with some type of protein. Maybe it's jerky, maybe it's cheese, maybe it's some rolled up pieces of ham, or maybe it's a quesadilla. A little bit of, a tortilla, which is a carb, and some cheese. Because focusing on what does their brain need before we sit down to do our homework. I'll tell you, it'll make a huge difference. So that when they sit down to do their homework, like I said, I get it. As a parent, it can be frustrating to sit down with a child and know that it's going to take them like 10 minutes to get this assignment done, and then they're done. But just like I said, when they're getting this information coming in and they see squirrels, right? When we went camping this week, there was these 2 squirrels that lived in this tree right out from our camp, our trailer, and they were super noisy and they were super active. And I was just watching them, and they were like, and they'd run down the tree and they'd grab something and then they'd run up the tree, or they'd run over to another tree. And I thought, that's how I feel a lot of the time. So even though it seems logical to sit down and say, we're going to get this homework done, what happens? You sit down and you're like, hey, we're going to read this book. We're going to get this homework done. And their minds are like, whoa, squirrel. Oh, shiny object. And you're like, come on, let's just sit here and get this stuff done. And then it gets frustrating for you, and it gets frustrating for the child. Couple things, other things that can help is set a timer. Give them even 5 minutes and say, okay, for 5 minutes, we're going to do this little thing. If you want them to do a chore, make it fun. When my kids were growing up, I would turn on, that's when Barney was really popular. So I always played that song, clean up, everybody, everywhere, clean up, everybody do their share, right? So turn on some type of a fun song. If they're little, turn on the Barney song, turn on some kind of a fun cleaning song. One of the challenges as a parent is we want to say, okay, go do this task, go do it. Come back and tell me when it's done. And then you get frustrated because you tell them to go do it and they're off. They found something else to do. So it's important for you and for them to get some chores done. Set a timer and go help them. Make it a fun time to clean up, put things away, do the dishes, whatever that is. But when they can see that it's like a team thing, right? Maybe you're doing the dishes and they're taking out the garbage. I don't know what that looks like. But you're going to get things done and it's going to lower your stress and help them to feel successful. So now let's talk about how to feed the brain. What is there that can give them the tools to help them? Well, ADD and ADHD, first of all, hits your dopamine neurotransmitter, which when your dopamine is working, you have drive, you have energy, you have focus. When it's not, you lack drive, you lack energy, you lack focus, apathy. I just don't care. And usually someone whose dopamine is low is going to crave something for stimulation, such as sugar or starches. That's why it's really easy for kids to come home and want sugar because their brain's been depleted of dopamine. The other thing is the hyperactivity. That's hitting your serotonin. So when your serotonin is high, it's positive mind, it's confidence, it's humor, flexibility. But when your serotonin drops, that's also where the HC, the hyperactivity, and the ADD sits. The other part is GABA. That GABA neurotransmitter is physically allow you to relax. A lot of times, when you're in that ADD mode, you're in that fight or flight because you're always going and all this stimulus is coming at you. So by working with those 3 neurotransmitters can make a huge, huge difference. So number 1, tyrosine. Tyrosine helps with the focus. It helps with the drive, the motivation. Like give a little tyrosine, it's going to turn into dopamine. So 5-HTP. 5-HTP is going to feed the serotonin. Serotonin drops afternoon, so that you've got your child coming home from school, and that's when serotonin drops. So it's afternoon, evening cravings for sugar or starches, things like that. For adults, it could be alcohol, marijuana, things like that. And then GABA can help to allow yourself to relax. My GABA Chill, has theanine in it, and theanine helps to calm your brain down. so it can think clearly. So if you have a child or yourself who deals with ADD, ADHD, feed the brain, right? With those specific amino acids, feed the body nutrition, making sure that you eat or they eat some protein 3 times a day. One of the most important things is when they get up to go to school, make sure they've got some protein, even if it's a protein bar, protein drink, or smoothie, so that they're going to school with that protein in their brain rather than just sugar. And when they come home, let them move their body, decompress, then have them do their homework or the chores that you want to do, and see it as their superpower. I have accomplished so many things in my life, and yet on the outside, sometimes life looks chaotic. If you were looking outside in, the way I do things would be kind of quite chaotic. But it's also my superpower because I'm flexible, creative, energy, utilizing that in small amounts. There you go, guys. That's my tip for the week. Make it a great week. If I can help you, reach out to me at ShellyJo@hypnoaminos.com. Go to my website, hypnoaminos.com. Check it out. Check out my supplements. Ask any questions. Make it a great day. I'm Shelly Jo with Shelly Jo Hypnoaminos, also known as Amino Acid Lady. Life matters. Your life matters. Mwah. Bye.